trust the process, don't rush the process. Like an active addiction, like you're used to like instant results. Put substance in my body, I get feeling instantly. Real life, it doesn't work like that. And thank God it doesn't work like that, because if we got it so quick, then I wouldn't appreciate it.
This is the Atomic Souls Podcast.
Welcome.
Yes, I'm glad to be here. I'm super stoked and super happy.
Who are you? What do you do?
Well, yeah, my name is Kline, also known as JKline.
JKline.
Recovery-based hip-hop artist, life coach, speaker, community person.
BD person.
And just another man in recovery just trying to make a difference in this world.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
How is all the hip-hop stuff going?
It's been going well. I know each year it just seems to get better and better. I just got back from California a few weeks ago, out there with Monster. Shout out Monster.
Yes.
We were out there just having a blast, and so it's starting to like really take off and go just beyond Texas now.
Nice.
Grateful to have like really good friends that I can network with and collaborate with. That has those bridges in place to where I can do things like that. And then I also just got back from East Texas performing and speaking out there for a recovery event.
Nice.
So just however I can use my voice and my talent and my passion and carry and use it as a vehicle to carry experience, strength, and hope. That's what I do, and that's where I'm going to go. So wherever I'm at next, I might be in Maine next month. I don't know. We'll see.
I love that. And I love the collaboration that I've been seeing you and Mike and is it Einstein?
Oh, Einstein, the mastermind.
Yeah. And then Creechy, is he part of it? Yeah, I like seeing y'all like collaborate on stuff. I think it's cool.
Yeah. Very blessed to have some really talented friends. So
yeah. How is that process? We kind of talked with Mike about that, like collaboration and the process of it. How is that for you? Because I know like rapping can sometimes be like a solo thing. And how is it to collab with people? Well,
yeah, I love to, do it on my own for sure. I think also in like obviously it could be any genre, but hip hop does seem to have a lot more like, bravado to it, but I don't really subscribe to that. And luckily the people I kind of work with don't really like, we're all about just lifting each other up, and it's not like, there's still like probably a competitive edge to it. But no one's like, oh man, I'm not working with you, or, or I'm bigger than you, or I'm more talented than you. It's not even any of that. It's just like, oh, you're a dope person and a dope artist. Let's work and let's make something great. And let's share our truths, share our experience.
Yeah.
So I'm super grateful for that. And that's how it was. And like, so that's why I work with them consistently. Just because it is that type of mindset. It's just like, let's just create.
Yeah, I like that. Where can we go a little bit deeper?
Definitely. Let's go deeper. That's for sure.
I always tell Mike, I say, JKline like is a man of his word. Like you have good, like if you say you're gonna be somewhere, like you're there. You say you do something, you're there. Where do like your like qualities like that? Because you seem like such a genuine person and like kind and like follow through, integrity, like all the principles. Living it out. Like, is that something you've always done, or is that like a recovery? Just curious.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
It's noticeable for sure.
It's so noticeable.
I made a comment about it the other day when we did the live event thing with Monster Mike and Wendy.
Yeah.
We had a lot of people that, say they're our ride or die people that all found a reason to not be here that night.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you pulled through like without even really talking about it much. You just showed up because like Mike was your boy. Yeah. And that was impressive to me.
Yeah. And I rock with y'all too. So I'm about like loyalty and like in community, and like I'm gonna show up for my people. And so I wouldn't have missed that unless there was like a actual like emergency that really prevented me from being there. Right. But Was I always now? Also, I want to put a disclaimer. I am not perfect. Not saying you were. Not saying you were alluding that, but like, I've had people like I've struggled with that internally, like the whole thing of like trying to like just be perfect and like
I get
exemplify every principle to the T, and I'm afraid to fall short.
Yeah.
And we can get into that in a little bit later.
Would love to. I have the same thing.
Because that was actually that's been a real process the last year. But this is, I was raised by a single mom, and so she raised me really well.
Yeah.
And she always like gave me like good qualities, and like I didn't have a father really too much, but my mom did a great job playing both roles. So I was raised with like a template and how to like be a good person. And I always just had like this natural feeling about me to where I just wanted to be helpful and just wanted everyone to be okay. And but
it's like kind of innate in you, but also your mom like really gave you a lot of structure, it sounds like. And, discipline.
But however, when my active addiction or my addiction came, all of those things went out the window, and I was probably the worst. This person you see now, and you guys know, if you guys would have saw him, 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago, you would be like, lock the door. Do not let him in. He's probably going to, all of this would have been stolen. Like, but like absolute opposite. Thief, liar, manipulator, not loyal, angry, spiteful, hateful, not so much at people, but just like the world in my disposition at the time and myself. So those were the qualities. Very dark, and I lived like that for 13 years.
Wow. How was that going from? It sounds like you were kind of living in some good principles, had a good mentor through your mom. Like, what was it like to like? It sounds like completely 180 on that.
Yeah. Well, and we talk about like an addiction, like the whole shame and guilt thing. So knowing better.
Yeah.
But also like still like having like a mental health like internal condition to where it's like I don't feel like I belong. I'm misunderstood. My head won't stop going 100 miles an hour. I can't turn my brain off. My heart won't stop beating out of my chest.
Yeah.
So dealing with like those feelings and like also like very like fearful of the world and uncertainty.
Yeah.
I was always searching for a remedy to like kind of rid myself and escape from those feelings.
Yeah.
And then so when I started dabbling in like harder substances, predominantly like heroin and opiates, that was a real remedy at the time.
Right.
And I just didn't know exactly.
It wasn't as dangerous as it is now.
Yeah.
Which is wild because it was still very dangerous.
For sure. And I didn't, obviously in the beginning, you don't think you're going to become, it's progressively worse. I didn't think I was going to be a homeless, steal everything from my family, pawn everything I had, be homeless and rob people and go to jail and just a menace. So, and we talk about like shame and guilt. So like I knew better. And so like, I'm like going out and doing these things, knowing that they're wrong, feeling bad about them. I didn't feel great about them at the time, but I had to do what I had to do because I'm like in this state of like survival mode. So I could escape these feelings, and I just want to feel good and feel better. And I'll be homeless on Rumberg and Lamar if I have to do that.
Yeah.
And was.
Yeah.
And
are you from Austin area?
No, I'm from Michigan.
Okay.
But I've been here since 2013.
Okay.
August 2013. And that shame and that guilt of just like knowing better, and I think also perpetuated it longer because like now I got to escape from those feelings too.
Yeah.
So
was the rapping, was that part of the using, or was that like something in mostly recovery or before?
Well, so I've been doing it since I was like in ninth grade. Like I, put together my own little mixtape album in ninth grade and pressed it all up. And when CDs were still out, and put the jewel boxes, the little CD cases, and passed them out at school. Wasn't a quality music, but but the drive and the business mindset was there, and like obviously the passion and creativity was there. I never really was like this. I wasn't never like a B's and H's type of, bitches and all that. That was never my thing. Or like, harming people. But there was elements of like, just, I guess maybe some toxic, like just things I wouldn't necessarily subscribe to now, in the beginning. But also like, I was also like very focused on like still lyrical stuff too. I just didn't know exactly what lane to go in at that time. So I'm like, they're making this, so I'm going to make a little bit of this, and I'll make this too. And I didn't really have I didn't have an identity.
Yeah, it sounds like you're really lost.
Yeah. And obviously in active addiction, I tried to make music. Didn't really work out because like when I'm in that world, it requires me to be all the way in that world.
Yeah.
And, no one wants somebody in their studio session, nodding out at the microphone or in their control room.
Maybe if you're paying them.
Yeah. Well, I think that's probably why they allowed it. Like,
yeah.
I'm only going to take, you're only doing this because you're paying by the hour. And just, I just couldn't do both.
Yeah.
So there was a period where I kind of dropped off from like 2014 till about 2018. 2018, I got kind of on like I got on the Methadone program, and I was able to kind of like recreate my life a little bit, somewhat. I worked a job and started recreating my music career, and ended up like getting a distribution deal with like a small label in Austin, Texas, and
nice.
Started opening up for some like, locally or some bigger name Texas artists.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I was starting to make some headway with that, and felt like I was doing something. But
how was Methadone? That's intense.
Well, it did help in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I don't knock anyone's process or journey. I wouldn't recommend anyone do that. But
it's hard.
But I also wasn't like working any type of program or doing any type of therapy or counseling. I was just like, heroin's being a little too much of a job now. And it's just, you know what, I'll just take this daily and I can just still kind of function.
Right.
But there was no dealing of like the inner workings of why I was doing the things I did or thinking the way I thought. But I was able to get a job and do music, and, mom let me move back in to, one more chance to, change my life. But after a while, like, when I'd go in to see my appointment, they'd ask me, so how are you feeling? And I'm just like, I'm still a little edgy, oh, okay.
It's not enough, but
let's kick you up another 20 milligrams in every week. It's, I'm still a little edgy. All right. So I went from 40 milligrams to 180 milligrams in about 8 months.
We had this guy, like, I was probably like 5 or 6 years ago, working somewhere else, and he was on methadone. And he went in one week, and the guy's like sleeping through groups, and he got his methadone upped that week. I was like, what? He's sleeping all day, every day.
Yeah.
Why are y'all prescribing this?
It's wild.
It works to an extent. But you have to do, like you said, like the internal work. Like, for sure. Harm reduction only works if you're also like putting in the internal work as well.
Yeah. Because all of this is deeper than just staying sober. If that was,
right.
If that was the objective,
the baseline.
And also like, 180 milligrams. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I don't think anyone needs to be on that much.
And is that sober at that point? Like, is that harm reduction?
I mean, clearly there's drug seeking behavior in that. And also like, before the shows I would perform at, I'm taking, I require 2 shots of tequila before I go on stage. I require methadone. I require a blunt after I get off stage. And then we start doing some so there was still substance use going on. I just wasn't doing my substance.
Right.
And then it's just, I remember one day, because on the weekend, they only had like a small window at this particular clinic. So if you had to be there on a Saturday, it was literally like a 2-hour window.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, I slept through my alarm.
Oh no.
And I woke up with like 10 minutes before the clinic closes, and I'm calling the clinic freaking out. please stay open. Please stay open. I'm on the way and I'm trying to scramble and get an Uber and I don't have money for a Lyft. So now I'm like begging my mom, like, will you please send me I need to get to the clinic. And I'm in the Uber and I'm like crying my eyes out. I'm like, please, I'm on the way. The Uber says I'm 15 minutes away. I'll be there. Will you please just stay open?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is like dealer.
Yeah. It's like calling your dealer.
So,
please, I promise I'll get you the money.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
So that was my experience.
Yeah. Did they stay open?
They did.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
They did.
Okay. That person working had compassion.
Or one time I remember I was at the clinic, I took my dose and then I threw it up immediately after I took it.
Oh.
And I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, please give me another one. They're like, no, it's still got in your system. I'm like, not enough. Not enough. That's 180 milligrams. There's no way I got 180 in my system.
I knew people that would get it take home, like they trusted them enough that they, but it sounds like they wouldn't trust you to take it home.
It did start getting to a process where they did they did trust me a little bit, and then I started getting like weekly and bi-weekly.
Okay.
And then COVID happened, and then they kind of let everyone get take homes. So I had like a whole month's supply.
Wow. Yeah.
And then when COVID happened, I said, screw the methadone.
Yeah.
I'm going back to get my real love.
Yeah.
Because as you can see, the world is about to come to an end.
We're dying.
Exactly. I said, fuck this. The world's coming to an end.
We're all going to die. I'm going to die high.
I feel good about it.
And I just watched, I just lost my job. I just watched my music career that I was working so hard to rebuild come to a complete halt.
Yeah.
I was like, this is too much for me. Again, I don't do well with fear. I don't do well with uncertainty.
Yeah.
And if, the images that were getting pumped at that time of like, this is too much for me. I need to escape from this right now. So I started selling all my methadone and got back on my drug of choice. And that's when things really started to go like downhill. I mean, obviously there was been plenty of downhills prior to that with like homelessness and incarcerations and stuff like that. But
is that when, because I think you've done fentanyl, right?
Yeah.
Was that when you started using fentanyl more? Was post-COVID or?
Yeah, well, after COVID. So around like April 2022 is when I started like really doing that. Just because like my dealer said, no more heroin, but I do got this. And I was like, okay, And so I started doing that. And then I did that for a period of time. And then from 2021 to 2022, I was in like 15 different sober livings.
Wow.
In that year period. Or, low budget motels, you know.
You were like a secret shopper for...
I was. Dude.
The sunlight in.
I've seen every type of sober living you could imagine. I've seen every type of house manager.
Well versed.
Yeah.
Are any of those still operating?
I think all of them but one.
Really?
Good.
Yeah. And some of them were good.
Yeah.
Some of them were really good. And some of them were flop houses. And, so, and most of them were all in North Austin in one particular area. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then, so I got tired of, getting kicked out. And so I'm like, it's like October, end of October of 2022. And, I stopped, I took like a week break. And for those that know my story, I've shared this quite a bit. I'm not going to do the whole recap, but like, I ended up overdosing 5 times in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so that was like that did something to my soul. Mm. And so after like the 5th overdose, because like I'm very hard headed, like, and I think that I can always cheat the system or cheat the game or find a loophole to make this work.
Yeah.
So clearly, like, most people would be like, "Oh, you overdosed. Let's stop there."
Right.
I was like, "No, we're gonna figure out how to do this."
Yeah. Keep trying.
Yeah. And kept trying, led me to kept dying. And when it was after the 5th one that I got to really, I know, like I said, it did something to my soul.
Yeah.
I don't know why it took. I just had an awakening. Mm-hmm. And I got to like really, like when I was sitting in the hospital, they were getting infection out of my lungs because I had threw up in my lungs on the last one. I just had this real awakening of just like, how precious time is.
Yeah. Yeah.
How precious time is and like life is, and like thinking about like just all the things I had done and things that didn't happen and things I blew up and ruined, and just everything that happened the last 13 years. It just like smacked me in the face, and it's like, yeah, this is how you want to die?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was like, nah, that's not going to be me. And so, and then I ended up withdrawing in a motel for 5 days. Another spiritual awakening I had there, and made it through that and got into another sober living, and changed my life. So why I try to live and embody the principles I do today, because that was very symbolic. I didn't want to die like that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to die being that type of person. And so I always say, like, in that moment, the old me died so the new me could get to live.
Yeah.
And I knew that, like, I was given multiple chances, and like I was going to take advantage of that and not let that be in vain. And I wanted to be the person that God would have me be. Yeah. My mom raised me to be, and the person that I would like to be.
Right.
And that's a loving, respectful, honorable, loyal, loving man. Like, I was so afraid to be that type of man, because like, I'm like very sensitive also, and like, but no, I got to be hard, and I got to be, and then the lifestyle I lived didn't coincide with like being sensitive and loving and tolerant. So it's like, it was this constant affliction of my internal condition, was just like who I was. And I just, no, that's me. And it's okay. And matter of fact, the world needs that. Yeah. The world needs more of that. Yeah. And how can I best represent that and show up as that? So that's how I had to take it to the bitter end and almost die.
Near-death experience. I hear that often, that like people who've had near-death experience have like similar like gratitude for life. Yeah. For me, it was like when I had my daughter, it was like, oh, like things got into perspective similarly. I'm like, what does this really mean? Like, who am I? And like, who am I allowing in my life? And and so it's
the addition of life or the subtraction of life.
Yeah.
Two very that make life really real. Like,
and like those are things that like, God, the universe controls. Like, we don't have control over those things for the most part, of like creating life and ending life. And so it's cool to hear that instead of just giving up, you were like, nope, like this is actually like an awakening for me, and I'm gonna use this to be who I know the world needs and that I need to be.
Yeah. And I just put it in a real perspective. Like, it's pretty cliche. We all have heard these things, like, you got one shot. Yeah. You got one shot at this life. Yeah. And what are you gonna do with it? Yeah.
It like doesn't sit in your brain, and I think it's partly like developmental thing, because in our teens, like, we think the world is all about us and that we're invincible and all of that, and then like 20s and 30s we start to realize, oh, we are mortal beings. And we start having experiences of people dying or new life coming about, or like near-death experiences, and so the reality starts hitting us that, oh, I'm not invincible. Like,
I saw a quote this morning that I really liked. I think it was from a movie, but the guy said, we have a finite amount of time on this earth, so you can either be viciously mediocre or you can get the fuck after it.
I think our culture, American culture, really does not value the preciousness of life and the like one gift that it is, because I didn't really, until I went overseas and I saw like true like poverty and like third world country, and I was like, oh shit, like I came back, I was like, give everything up, sell everything I owned, and like help everyone, which wouldn't have helped anyone. But I think more kids and more people need to be exposed to like how people live, like either homeless people live or like third world countries, because I think we're so like safeguarded from the reality of life and the preciousness of it.
For real. And I think it's ingrained in our culture too, in society of like, we've kind of been since our birth, all of us, although it's maybe kind of looked differently in these last few generations, but like we've kind of been presented a manufactured image of what success and happiness looks like.
Yeah, it's this little bubble, and everything's comfortable and happy and whatever.
The American dream. White picket fence, house, cat, dog, whatever. Nice car. And I think that thing is great. I think those are great. But I think freedom, being free and community are like the most important pieces.
Yeah. Well, like having all the white picket fence and stuff, like what's the meaning of it?
Right.
If it's not like, for me, I have to question like if my like soul is lost and I'm not helping others, then it just feels like pointless to have these things.
Exactly. And I think I've learned that throughout my journey in life is like material things don't materialize in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love and like patience and community and fellowship and those things materialize. Joy, even pain and all that stuff. That's the stuff that materializes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the white picket fence life is comfortable, keeps us from feeling our feelings, whether positive feelings or negative feelings.
Yeah.
Like, it's just comfortable, and I think that's put my tinfoil hat on, but that's what they want us to like not make change. Because if you're comfortable, you're not going to fight whatever, you're not going to like fight the system or help other people who need help. Like you're not going to have feelings. You're just going to be like numb.
Yeah. And then I think it becomes a letdown because it's like you can obtain that and it's like, wait, this isn't what I thought it would feel like.
Right. Yeah.
This isn't it.
Happy and joyous all day, every day. Like what?
But yeah. And then recovery and obviously also being in like a fellowship further solidified the foundation of like the evolution of who I am. And because I got to be introduced to like, the aspect of community and like actual embracing and applying principles and all my life. So, and one of the biggest ones I got to really hone in on was gratitude. And something that I've taken for granted for so long. And, I always think like, gratitude is really the principle to unlock that mindset shift.
Yeah.
In my viewpoint of like the lens of which I look through life.
Yeah.
And it's allowed me to see things in its most purest and beautiful form and find appreciation and value in the little things.
Yeah.
Not the big things, not the grandiose things, but the little things like this right here or playing pickleball with some sober people that I've never played before and or just anything, just life, things that I've missed because I'm on this chase for so long, trying to escape when the answer was right in front of me the whole time.
Yeah, I think gratitude slept on for sure. I think the near-death experience or like bringing life into this world, like those big moments put gratitude and change perspective and bring about all the rest of the like positive feelings that we're looking for. Because if you can have like a gratitude mind shift, it's like, oh, then that's where like the love and the joy and the peace come from. Because you don't just like tap into those really.
Right.
The gratitude, you have to acknowledge them with the gratitude of like, oh, I have this love, I have this kid, I have this life.
Gratitude helps refine perspective tremendously. I think that's the big issue. Like listening to y'all talk about, the American dream. They had the movie that came out, Pursuit of Happiness. Fantastic.
One of my favorite movies.
Fantastic
So
movie.
Yeah.
But the concept that we should be in pursuit of happiness, in pursuit of an emotion, I think is where we fail as Americans.
Yeah.
We should pursue purpose and fulfillment.
Yes.
And we get to experience happiness along the way.
Right.
Yeah.
But if all you're doing is pursuing the emotion, that's no different than pursuing a high from a drug.
Yeah.
That's what makes you feel numb, is because you're constantly pursuing emotion rather than purpose and fulfillment.
Yeah.
Yeah, emotions are fleeting.
Yep.
By
Exactly.
science.
I was actually just talking about that with someone yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a brain chemical. So
Yeah.
like every emotion has chemicals attached to it, and it's fleeting. It's like a little spark of energy in your body, but it goes away. Even people are like, oh, I'm scared if I cry, I'll cry forever. It's like, that's not true. Like eventually your body will stop. Like it will come to an end. So
You can learn to be thankful and appreciative of the negative emotions too, though. Like yesterday,
without like those, you don't have the positive ones.
Exactly.
but like yesterday I was thinking about, so we've been in this battle for a couple of months now with some property stuff. So I'm talking to attorneys like every day and like stressing me the fuck out.
I bet, yeah.
But then I'm sitting there thinking about it last night. And I'm like, you know what? 5 years ago, I wasn't a person capable of this. And so like I can look at it
with attorneys.
Yeah, now I can look at it with a perspective of fulfillment of like I'm stressing about the things that I wish I could do 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think exactly what you're saying, like being able to look at those things and appreciate the moments, big or small, is what helps us really refine that perspective of, I might not be happy at this exact moment, but I'm creating fulfillment in my purpose.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's easy to get caught up in the like excitement of continuing to like grow things and forget like where we've come from sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's been helpful. I've been doing a lot of like writing lately on like Facebook.
Oh yeah, I've seen
Just
them.
like journaling on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I've just been like really, I've had a few weeks of like chill. So I've been like, you know what? Let me like reflect on where I've come from. And it's cool to see because like who I was even 5 years ago as well was like not who I am today. And I like downplay that a lot. And then I'm like, oh yeah, like I am the shit. Like I have a lot to give people.
Yeah.
I've been telling you for years.
Forget that. I know Mike has told me that for years.
You with free time is a wild thing.
Why?
I don't know. I'm just not used to seeing it. I'm like, where'd she find time for this? I'm like, oh yeah, she already finished all her stuff.
I'm accomplished this year.
Yeah, we're just, I don't know. We've just been in such a grind phase for 6 or 7 years now.
Yeah.
That she's finally getting to a point to where a lot of stuff that we've been working
Can
on.
appreciate
We're getting
and
to appreciate
grateful.
and fulfill.
Feel it.
That's just
I
really
feel
cool.
like the mindset shift that we've been practicing the last year together is like be grateful. Like these are good problems to have. It's
For
the
sure.
problems we wanted to have. So I feel like the last year has helped with that of just the mindset shift and perspective.
One of the biggest quotes I've kind of like lived my life by since I started this journey and like my new life and sobriety and stuff like that is, and I made shirts about it. Trust the process, don't rush the process.
Yeah.
You know, especially like an active addiction, like you're used to like instant results. I put substance in my body, I get feeling instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in just real life, it doesn't work like that. And thank God it doesn't work like that because if we got it so quick, then I wouldn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
And it's about the embracement of the journey and the road traveled to get said thing. And then when it comes, it's like, yes, I went through all that fucking shit to get through here.
Yep.
That's where like the reward comes from, not the end result, the journey.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at as well, as like the journey. Like even like I've been back in the gym, which is exciting. Took 6 months off because our daughter was potty training and just had to focus on her. But I was like getting back in, I was so exhausted and I was like lost progress. But even on the way here today, I was like, you know what? Like it's been 6 weeks back and I am back to where I was 6 months ago, like before I stopped. So it's crazy like that. Like, the growth that can happen if you just like continue and like if you need to take a break, like take a break. Don't like get rid of it forever. Has been like really interesting to like see like in the gym, but like relating that to life too. Like sometimes we need to step back and take breaks and that's okay. And like it can be intentional, not just like you're giving up and
breaking down the process too. Like a lot of times people they have such grandiose ideas. They're like, oh, I can never achieve that. It's like, yeah, but you could probably achieve a phase 1 of a 20 phase approach to that.
Yeah.
dude.
It's kind of like the sobriety concept. So don't worry about being sober for the next year. Be sober today. Yeah. And then tomorrow you can be sober again that day. And before you know it, you have 12 months of sobriety. Yeah. And I think a lot of times people's life goals and they're like, oh, I want to be, a touring artist. Cool. go do a show at the local venue then.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, that's not what I want to be. That's the journey to where you want to be.
Pathway.
There.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought about that because my mom had posted, like, it's been 13 years since I got my undergrad degree. And it's like, that's wild. Like, that's the time that I wanted to start a human trafficking recovery center 13 years ago. And we're still not there, but we're, like, still working on it. And we're, like, so much closer and so much, like, I was so naive and such an idiot at that time. It's just, like, I just had a dream. That's great. But putting in the work for 13 years to make it happen, it's still not there. I could just be like, oh, like, sad about it, you know? And I was like 5 or 6 years into it. I was like, what am I doing? And that's what drove me into doing my own stuff. And we're still, like, on that pathway now, and it feels real. So yeah, I think it's
important to define those things. Like we talk about in business a lot. You have to have your MVV, your mission, your vision, and your values. And then everything should abide by that. And so that, like, if your goal is, hey, I want to be this, all right, then that's your mission. Define the vision as well as how you're going to get there. And then the values around how you're going to make that approach. And if you stay true to that every single day, just kind of reconcile with yourself, okay, did today push me closer to that vision?
Right.
Yes or no? And then every single day, just repetitiously do that. Yeah. And then you pick your head up every now and you're like, oh, holy shit, I accomplished a lot.
That was me this week.
Yeah, I mean, that's been me multiple times now. Like with ASP, we're in the middle of doing an exit there, and like to pick my head and be like, holy shit, somebody wants to buy this? Like I feel like I'm barely getting started.
Yeah.
But it's because you get so focused on that grind that you forget, like, no, I started somewhere. But if you stay true to yourself, you get places.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I think that instant gratification, like you were talking about, is a big part of, like, American culture in general. And in recovery too, because you'll see people get sober and they're like, now what? And they're like, I'm sober. Be proud of me. And it's like, yeah, good job. Like, that's the starting point. That's like the start of the race. Like, you just ran 1 mile. Like, you have 20 left.
You never know who's watching either. Like, you never know who you're an inspiration to.
Right.
Dude, that's so true. This week has been an eye-opener of that too.
Yeah. Like, I had that time on the boat. I've talked about this to Rachel before, where there was a guy, this was years ago. He had messaged me, kind of in a bind, was like, hey, do you think you get me a job? And I just take the call. I'm like, yeah, man, I'll get you a job, whatever. And I called somebody, I was like, hey, you need to interview this person. They're going to be a good fit. Never even met the guy before.
That was Emily's friend.
It was Emily's friend,
That's
wild. Like 2 or 3 years after that conversation, I'm hanging out at the office in downtown Houston. It's a big office. There's thousands of people there. I just happened to walk in a room because a buddy of mine's teaching a class, Scott. And he's like, Mike, come up here and, tell him a little bit about your career path. And I was like, I started very bottom, green deckhand, worked my way up to Willman. And this guy stands up. He's like, you're Mike Stein? I said, yeah. He's like, I'm such and such. I don't even remember his name. I was like, okay, cool. Nice to meet you. And he like got up from his desk and walked up there, gave me a hug, starts crying. He's like, dude, you changed my life. I was like, what do you mean I changed your life? He's like, I'm here because of you. I'm the phone call that you made, 2 years ago or so.
Wow.
Yeah. And he could have just been like, oh, like, whatever. Like,
yeah. It was just a
like,
random call. Actually, we were down in South Padre touring whatever place it is down there.
Emily Harrison. It was like her friend that was like needed a job. And
But I could have just said, man, fuck this guy. Like,
I'm too busy.
Right. I'm too busy. But I took 5 minutes out of my day just to make a phone call, and it changed that guy's life.
Yeah.
And so, like, for you, like, when you post stuff on Facebook, you never know who that's going to come across. Yeah. It's very impactful. Even like for me, I see stuff with you, and I've seen your growth pattern over the last 2 years or so. I'm like, all right, he's fucking doing it. Like, that's inspirational.
Yeah, it's kind of surreal sometimes. But one thing I've just been trying to be really good about is just staying in passion and on purpose, and then just rooted in the just genuine, pure intentions, and just trusting in, obviously believing in myself, but like trusting that things will materialize how they're supposed to, when they're supposed to. And what I found is just when I just walk and operate in that space, things will just align.
Yeah.
And I won't even have to do too much.
Yeah. When you have the right intentions and also believing in yourself. That balance, like you just said, is huge.
Yeah.
So when you can align those two things just fall into place, and you're like, what the heck?
And I'm not saying I don't get out. Like, I might get. I have moments where like, damn, is this ever gonna work out? Am I really? Is this really gonna happen?
For sure.
I sometimes it's hard for me to go to sleep because when it's time to go to bed, my brain turns on and it's like I'm gonna run through the cycle of everything that could happen, might not happen. Why isn't it happening?
Yeah.
And then, but it just bring it back to center. Bring it back to center.
Yeah.
We're always tested before something big too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what your faith is like, but like in the Bible, you have the story of Moses, and it's not like God just took Moses and he's like, okay, you're the head of the Israelites now. It's like, nope, you got to go talk to Pharaoh and basically like grovel before his feet and, do what I tell you to do.
Yeah.
And Moses is like, oh, I got a speech impediment, I'm not real good with this and that and
stuttering
everything.
and anxious kind of dude. Like,
and God's
same.
like, no, dude, like you want to change lives,
Yeah.
you got to go do this. And, you got to experience trials and tribulations, and then you get to be somebody. And then like they have the other story with the talents, and they have, one person gets 1 person gets 5, one person gets 10. The 10 multiplies and makes it 20. The 5 multiplies and makes it 10. The 1 goes and buries the talent. And when the master comes back, he's like, well, here, master, saved your talent for you. And he's like, no, you wasted it. Matter of fact, you no longer going to be here anymore. Get out of my presence. I'm going to take your 1 and give it to the guy that already had 10 because he was a good and faithful servant.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what we have to be with our talent. So like if your talent is, speaking to people and stuff, you got to go through that process so you get more and more opportunity. But you being a good steward of that talent is what's so impactful and what creates the person that you're meant to be. They had a guy that I loved on TikTok, and I can't remember his name, but he was talking about business, because for me, business is, that's what I do, right? And he's like, doing business is easy. Like there's nothing to business. Buy something cheap, sell it high. What's difficult is becoming the man that you have to be to put yourself in those positions. That takes a lot of hard work. Yeah. And that's so accurate. Like speaking to a crowd, it's not difficult.
Right.
Becoming that person that can step up in front of them is very difficult.
Yeah.
It's all about personal growth.
I love that.
Curious, you mentioned the perfectionism struggle. What has that been like for you? Because I identify with that.
Well, I think, obviously it's coming like this kind of looked differently, and it's also kind of looked a blend of like all those things. So like obviously coming from a place of like, not being a good person. And then so getting sober and like really like just, like I said, embracing this new me and this new lease on life, and like just wanting to do right no matter what. Yeah. And just afraid just to make the littlest mistake or step on anyone's toes on accident or rarely purposely, but like, just anything. Just, I don't want to hurt anybody.
Yeah.
I've did enough hurting people for a long time. I don't want to hurt nobody. And just being so afraid to do that. And then obviously in early sobriety, made a couple mistakes, nothing like super like harmful, but like, made some mistakes, and was like, okay, so it's okay. That doesn't mean I'm a bad person. And then also like, as I started to grow like professionally and also like in my personal endeavors, becoming a speaker, becoming a life coach and working in treatment at the time, and like coaching like all these guys, and then like going through some hard stuff my own self at the time. I was like feeling really inadequate because I'm like, these guys are paying me to show them how to live. And I'm over here actually fighting for my life. Like I'm actually struggling so bad right now, and I can't let nobody know. Right. Because if I let you know, for one, you're gonna be like, well, I don't need you. Right. Job's gonna be like, you know what? I knew you weren't cut out for this job. Self was like, I don't have any value. I have nothing to offer. Yeah. All lies. Yeah. And I kind of like put me in like a weird space for like 6 months. This was about like a year ago. Yeah, about a year ago. I was like in a weird space for like 6 months, just like in my head constantly, and just like uncertain. I'm like just real lost for once. And like my sobriety, I was like, and the beautiful thing is like I just got to be reminded like okay, what is lacking in my life? Why am I feeling like this? Oh, you don't have to be perfect. No one is demanding you to be perfect except for you.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, the real value is the same thing that got you here in the first place, vulnerability.
Yeah.
When I started sharing my story out loud, it didn't stop. It's easy to, be vulnerable about, I used to shoot heroin and I robbed people and did bad things and I was homeless and a junkie, but I'm not that me anymore.
Yeah.
But it's so much deeper than that.
It's kind of protected. It's like, oh, that was the old me.
I can, and it's
Currently,
like,
I'm great.
yeah. And like, also nothing at the time was really like bad. Like everything was still good externally, but internally I was just like, and this was about 2 years of sobriety, right when I hit 2 years of sobriety. And I was just like, man, vulnerability. That's how you reach more people. Matter of fact, more people need to know that when you get sober, especially in the professional side of things, that this is what you're struggling with. Because we've known, there's people that have gone back out or maybe unfortunately have taken their own lives.
Yeah.
Because they were afraid to speak up because they thought they would be devalued or dehumanized or looked at differently.
Yeah.
And that's not what it's about. And like, so also the other component of that was, where's my, how am I relying on my higher power? I wasn't.
Yeah.
That's why I wrote the song, Edging God Out, Ego. And I had confused ego with like thinking that meant I was better than everyone else. No, I was just edging. I wasn't, I was still end up relying on me again.
Yeah.
And so the beautiful thing about that is, I got to reconnect with my higher power.
Thanks.
And I just said, after 6 months of being like that, I just said, fuck this. I'm going to get up. Started getting in the gym, started running, ran a marathon, got baptized in last November, started, going to church and found a good church to go to. And just getting reacquainted. It's always back to center, right?
Yeah.
I think it's easy to, step out. And I think sometimes you got to step out because thank God for the imbalance. Thank God for the missteps. Because that's how we return to center.
I saw a quote this week that said, without doubt, there's no faith.
Yeah.
So like everything balances itself out. So you have to like, without being lost or like the prodigal son, there's no like being saved or like coming back.
Yeah.
So yeah, it sounds like, and that's kind of like what we've been going through the last like year or two, like getting back into spirituality and coming back to God and having it be like kind of the forefront of our minds. And it is, it's wild how you kind of like stray a little bit and things start to pop off.
And it's not that I didn't think that God was like no longer needed in my life. Sometimes I get caught up in that space where it's like, I just want to tough it out and thug it out. And I'm going to grit and grind my way through this. And it's like, wait, it's so much easier just to give it to God. Just give it to or your higher power. I do call mine God. But it's so much easier to do that. And I think we just make it harder because it's like, I think, the struggle is like, well, how is that going to work? What is that going to do?
I think like for me, like kind of getting away from God was just like, I got busy. So I like didn't prioritize, spirituality in my life. I was like, oh, like I talk about spirituality every day, like all day, it's fine. But I wasn't like practicing it myself. And so like the busyness, and then like the self-reliance and, it's easy to get like distracted from it and like devalue it. I think too, like you get a little progress with it, then you're like, oh yeah, like we're good, and start coasting. And then things start falling apart.
Which is wild because you wouldn't do it in any other relationship, right?
Yeah.
It's like that's what your, walk in faith is supposed to be. That's for Christianity. I'm not going to talk about any other spirituality, but I'll just straight up say, if you believe in God, it's supposed to be about a personal relationship, right?
Right.
Well, you wouldn't just like check in with your girlfriend once a month, be like, that we're good, right?
Yeah.
But somehow we think that that's acceptable with God.
Yeah.
I do see people get married and then they're like letting themselves go and all this stuff because they like stop engaging in the relationship.
Yeah, and then
so
they're probably not connecting in that relationship, and they're probably ending up in a divorce or just completely miserable.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, if I have a relationship with God, then that I need to pursue that relationship the same way I would pursue my wife or my husband or whatever the case is. Yeah. I need to actively be in pursuit of growing that relationship.
Yeah. Continuously seeking it and relying on it, getting out of ego.
Yeah, like exactly. If the only time Rachel ever called me was when something was wrong, and she's like, "Oh, the toilet's broke," or "Harley's sick," or whatever the case is, that would be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Half the time when I call her, I'm calling her to say, "I just want to tell you I love you."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that should be the same way we are with our Creator.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Having a kid has changed my concept of God as well, because I always like God is your father. But like when you have a kid, you're like, oh my God, like I would do anything for you. And like, I just want to squeeze your face, cancel my whole day because you said you wanted to snuggle. Like, you know, I get so happy when I hear her little voice. And so like perspective of like, that's how God sees us. Yeah. It's like, oh my God, like, wow.
Yeah.
It's just so silly to be like
crazy. Like
to be like fuck you, like what like
the concept of I think
he
they call
wants
it
to love us.
They call it like unconditional love, like agape love. Mm-hmm. Like it's really hard to comprehend that in any other relationship other than having children because everything else is conditional. Like people will say, "Oh, I love my spouse unconditionally." No, you don't. You show up and they're in bed with somebody else. That love's going to fade quickly. But dude, my daughter, she could shoot me in the face and I would still love her.
Right.
And that's our relationship with God because we spend most of our lives spitting in his face and he still loves us.
Yeah.
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 So, you going to have a kid?
No kids. Got lucky. Also, like, well, lucky in the sense of like, I would have felt bad to like bring a child into my madness. Right. Maybe that would have saved me. Who knows? Probably not, because any woman that I was conversing with would not have been a healthy relationship. And probably would have ended up being some type of awkward co-parent situation, or maybe not at all. I don't know. But yeah, maybe one day. You know, relationships is probably the hardest place I have where I trust God at. Trust God everywhere else, but like, you know,
not that part.
Where is she at? You know, where I have everything else. Where is she at?
Yeah.
Like, and then like I was searching for like a year, just trying to find the right girl and where's she at, and thought I found one, and you know, it's not on my time, it's on God's, and that messed me up because I'm like, I don't understand. Why would you even put her here if she wasn't like?
Yeah.
Something's beyond my comprehension and control, and I got to understand that. And I also just remember to trust God in all areas. Yeah. So I stopped searching, and you know, it'll be provided when it's time.
Which is wild because usually that's when it like you meet like the love of your life. Like when you're like, all right, fuck it, I'll never date again. Like, it's fine.
You know, so. Yeah, just trusting God. So there may be a future JKline running around. We'll see. You know, I'm just grateful to be here. I'm just grateful I get to live this life. And just to kind of go back a little bit, everything that, you know, we know this quote. We've seen plenty of motivational speakers say it, or Frank says it a lot. Shout out Frank Parisi. You know, it's all happening for you. It's happening for you, not to you. Shout out Frank. I love you, brother.
Let me take a sip of water and then
Sorry.
do that.
It's like he's in the room with us. You're a fucking warrior, Jacob. That's what he used to say. I love Frank.
Frank's great.
But it's so true. Everything is happening for us. And when we understand that, the situations are molding and making us for the next phase of growth and development. Because it doesn't stop. You know, and it was hard for me to kind of, at that point, you know, I just died 5 times, shot up because I had no choice of it was either die or live. Yeah. So live, and it was like a fucking rocket extending, and then it was like, and then you start getting scared, like, wait, why am I descending a little bit? Yeah. Fuck, mayday. Like, no, great, yes, because that's the fucking point. Because again, we have to appreciate all the duality of life. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pain, loss, happiness, joy, misery, you know? Mm-hmm. And I think, but like I said, we can apply those principles to how we combat and deal with these things. So, and then we just define appreciation and value of all things.
Yeah.
And thankful I don't have to run away from them anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. When you can face it, there's like a story that our pastor said where it's like the guy that had to was told go kill his son, sacrifice his son for God. I was like, never put that into perspective until I had a kid and was like, oh my God, I could not imagine if he was like, go kill Jacob, go take him up. I could not do that.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no. And this guy's just like, yep, okay, sounds good.
It's Abraham and Isaac. Yeah.
Abraham, yeah. That's insane. So if that dude could do it, it's, I can go through a little depression or I can go through a little hardship, it put in perspective the hard times that we go through in our comfortable lives that we're living here. Yeah. It's you know what, shit happens. It's fine. Same with near-death experience or people passing away. It's you know what, let's put life in perspective here. My little fit today is a little sad today, but that's fine. I'll make it through.
Yeah. More perspective to that story. Abraham had been given a word that he'd be a father of many nations, and he's elderly when that happens. Isaac is his first kid. And then God's like, nah, you need to give that to me. And Rachel was talking about this the other day on a podcast, you have this window of tolerance and you're only capable of what fits within that window. But it's okay, well, if Abraham is going to be called to be the father of many nations, then he needs to have a massive window of tolerance. And that's kind of what's going on there is God saying, are you ready for this? Can I make you the father of many nations, or are you not fully invested in me yet? Yeah. And that's that testing period of, you got to build out that window of tolerance. You need to experience the highs and the lows.
I feel the last year for us has been a lot of that, a lot of testing to see if we're ready. And Atomic took a nosedive. It was intentional. It happened. We knew it was going to happen. But to see it go from this big thing to a small thing and awkward as rising, it was hard for me. But it felt like failure, and on paper it looked like failure, but it wasn't. It was just restabilizing, and just God was trust.
And that's where we got to really tap into that trust.
When things look like they're failing, it's okay. That downward kind of slope. It's trust.
I don't want to go backwards. No.
Yeah, it feels
I don't want to take a break because I'm gonna. That means I'm gonna lose progress. No. All necessary.
Yeah. Well, that perfectionist side of me is I failed. Yes. I have failed. Things are falling apart. They're falling together.
You have to make a massive pivot, and a lot of times we get that sunk cost fallacy of well, I'm already so invested into this. I got to keep going. So that's not what you're called to do, though. That's not your purpose.
Yeah. Stepping stones, even if it's a good thing and it falls apart, or you said you had a good person potentially and then it didn't happen. It's that's great. Probably saved you from something, and there's something better out there.
Well, maybe not even just that. Maybe maybe it's not how it was supposed to, maybe that's how I was supposed to see it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I can think that but maybe that's not what it was supposed to be. Maybe I was supposed to meet that person just to enhance their life, and them enhance mine, or we find growth together. Doesn't mean it had to be a marriage or a relationship.
That's a great way to look at it. I really like that.
And that's another principle that's hard to do. Acceptance.
Yeah.
You have to accept that because I can see it with my clear eyes that she likes the same music. We like the same things. She likes cookie dough ice cream. I like cookie dough ice cream. We like this. We're meant to be. Can't you see? This is on paper. This is perfect. Yeah. And just on paper, on paper doesn't necessarily equate to the end result, right? Yeah. Or what I think is going to be the end result. Yeah. Eric Church, I don't know if you guys saw that. He just made they call it one of the greatest commencement speeches ever. If you guys get a chance to go watch that. Yeah. I'm not really a fan of his music, but I love
Eric Church music.
Well, actually, let me just say that actually I haven't listened to him, so that's actually an incorrect statement.
I'm a big country music person, so
I'm gonna have to give him a listen. But I really enjoyed his commencement speech. And he shared something about relationships that was pretty powerful. He says, he like broke it down into like different strings of a guitar and like each level of life. And he starts speaking about relationships. He's like, your partner is like your most important thing you're going to select in your life. And it's like, and he said, it's not about if you like the same music or the same food. It's about, do you share the same values and the same compass?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
very important.
you know,
Yeah, my mom and my dad always said the two most important decisions you'll make is who you serve and who you marry.
yeah.
I do wholeheartedly agree with that. Me and Rachel don't like almost anything the same, but
We're very different.
but our values and goals align completely.
Yeah, and that's the most important thing. Because you always think like, well, what am I going to... I think opposites attract is the realest thing in the world, actually. Because it's supposed to be that yin and yang. We think we got to find this perfect connector piece that's supposed to like be... No, I think it's the yin and the yang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You make me better, I make you better, and we do it together.
Yeah.
So
They should complete you. Like what you're missing, that's what they fulfill.